All right, Greek students, we are doing the vocabulary for chapters 8 and 9. And so we're in chapter 8, we're on page 61, and this was a chapter about prepositions, so we're going to be learning a lot of prepositions and also the different meanings behind different cases as they follow. So let's just start with this. I'm going to say some of these and we'll work through them. So our first word is Allah. Say Allah. It is a conjunction meaning but, yet, or except. You can see how the elision takes place when the word following Allah begins with a vowel. The final alpha elides. And so we have, it's either Allah or al, like that. Here's our next one. Apa. Say apa. Apa means in the genitive from or away from. You can also see how apa, the elision that happens when you have apa is followed by a word beginning with a vowel, that omicron drops out, as here, op auton. If the following word begins with a vowel with rough breathing, it becomes off humon, off. So whatever apa, op, or off, these are the same words. They are just that final stem or that final vowel is eliding, or that p is aspirating. Either way. Okay. All right. Our next one, dia. Say dia. Dia in the genitive means through. So if the word following dia is in the genitive case, it will mean through. If dia is followed by a noun in the accusative case, it will mean on account of. And you can see here that dia also elides as well. It becomes d. Okay. Our next vocabulary word is a verb. It is the verb eimi. Say eimi. It means I am, or I exist, or I live, or I am present. You can see how many times it occurs. It's the to be verb of Greek, and so it occurs quite a bit, and you can take a look at that. All right, our next word is ek. Say ek. Ek in the genitive as a preposition means from or out of, like the ek. Well, if it's followed by a rough breather, then it becomes ex, like the book of the Bible, Exodus. Ex is out, hadas is road. It's the way out. So Exodus means the way out. And so that's how you might remember ek or ex. Okay, next word, hemera. Hemera means day. The day. It's a feminine noun, hemera. It ends in an alpha, and you can see the genitive form here. All right, our next word is actually a form of the eimi verb, the past tense form of eimi, which is ein. Say ein. Ein means he, she, it was. Ein. It's a particular form of the to be verb that occurs in many texts. Our next word is thalassa. Thalassa means sea or lake, the Lake of Galilee or the Sea of Galilee. The Sea of Galilee is actually really a lake, but it's a large body of water. Thalassa is a feminine noun. You can see that because of the article there. All right, as we move on, our next word, thanatos. Thanatos. Thanatos means death, or can be translated with death. Thanatos is a masculine noun. Here's the genitive singular form, and there's the masculine article, thanatos. And then we move down here. Hina. Say hina. Hina. In order that or that. Okay. Our next proper noun is Ioannes. Ioannes means John. Ioannes. Here is kind of an interesting, it's actually a first declension noun, but it's masculine, so it takes masculine case endings, but it ends in an eta. It's similar to the way prophetes works, which is a masculine noun, but it ends in an eta, but it takes masculine endings. So it's just one of those weird things. It just happens, but no worries as we move along. All right. Our next word, lego. Lego means I say or I speak. And you'll see this oftentimes. Amen, 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 lego humin. Truly, truly, I say to you. Lego, I say or I speak. Okay, we'll get more into the paradigm of lego as we move on into verbs eventually, but for now, we'll just use it as a vocabulary word. All right, our next preposition is meta. Meta. Meta with the genitive means with, and meta in the accusative means after. The way I remember meta is in Aristotle's work. I remember taking metaphysics with J.P. Moreland, and we were talking about Aristotle. And the reason why metaphysics is the doctrine really of ontology, the doctrine of being, like what do we know exists or not exists. But Aristotle didn't know what to call it, and it was the book that he wrote after physics. And so Aristotle just titled the book Metaphysics, after physics. And so meta in the accusative means after. And so his book on ontology he named Metaphysics because it comes after his book on physics. There's no extra charge for that one. Okay, meta, that alpha elides when the next vowel or the next word begins with a vowel, and then it aspirates to meth if the word begins with a rough breather. So meta, met, or meth, it's the same word. It just depends on what it follows. And then we got two words that mean house or home. We've got oikia, say oikia, which is a feminine noun. And we have oikos, say oikos. Oikos is a masculine noun. Just the way it works. There's two different words. One is feminine, one is masculine. Our next word is aklos. Aklos. Crowd or multitude. And it is a masculine noun. Aklos. Our next word is another preposition, para. Para. Para in the genitive means from. Para in the dative means beside or in the presence of. It means alongside of. I have always remembered para because of para-church organizations are organizations that come alongside the church, para-church organizations. And so in the accusative is alongside of. But that's like a base of trying to understand what this word means. All right, let's keep going. We just have a couple more. We've got, here we go with parabole. Parabole means parable. It's a feminine noun, parabole. And so you can look at that. Here's another preposition, pros, say pros. Pros in the accusative means to or towards. And then our last one is hupa. Hupa means by or in the accusative under. Hupa. And again, that omicron elides when it comes up against another word that begins with a vowel, and then it aspirates to hoof when you have a rough breather there. So those are the vocabulary for chapter 8. We're going to move over to chapter 9 and do the vocabulary over there, so hang on. Chapter 8 is about adjectives, and so we'll learn a few adjectives along the way here. And here we go. We're going to do the vocabulary here. All of the adjectives can either be masculine, feminine, or neuter. So adjectives will take on that form. Let's do our first one. Agathos, agathe, agathon means good or useful. Agapetos, agapetos means beloved. Agapete, agapeton. Okay? Obviously you can see agape in there, loved, but agapetos means beloved. Aionios, aionios means eternal, Alelon, alelon, one another. This is probably in there because of 1 John. So the idea of loving one another, it's always in the plural, alelon, and it's always in the genitive plural, one another. All right, here we go. Apekrithe, apekrithe. And it's a form of a verb, he, she, it, answered. It's usually in narratives when there's a dialogue going on. He answered him or he answered her. All right. Doulos, doulos, ha doulos, slave or servant. If you have plural servants, it's douloi. So doulos, ha doulos. Aeon. Aeon. This is a particle. It's a crasis, a combination of a and on, which means if ever or whenever or something like that, or if or when. Okay? Here's an adjective that is a personal pronoun, essentially. Emos, eme, emon. This adjective means my, regardless of the case. It's usually, it means my. So emos, eme, emon, my or mine. Entole, entole means commandment. He entole. That's a noun. Kathos, kathos, as or even as. Kakos, kake, kakan. Kakos means bad or evil. I always remember bad because of kaka. You don't want to step in kaka. That's bad. And so there you go. Kakos, or a cacophony is something that doesn't sound good in your ears if you want something a little more wholesome to meditate on when you're memorizing this. Here's another word that means my. It's mu. Say mu or emu. This is the genitive singular of the first person personal pronoun ego, but you'll see it just oftentimes alone mu, and so we're going to learn it now. Mu. All right, as we move along here, got a few more. Nekros, nekra, nekron. Nekros means dead, so but it can also be used as a noun, meaning dead body or a corpse. So it means, but it does mean dead. So that dead person, nekros. Okay. Pistos, pistos, piste, piston means faithful or believing. Okay. Here's our next one. Paneros, panera, paneron, evil or bad. So kakos, the difference between paneros and kakos, usually kakos is more, start with bad and then move to evil. Paneros is more evil, then moving to bad secondarily. So a little bit different of, unfortunate kakos, downright evil paneros. That would be kind of the way that I've remembered it along the way, but both of those you're going to have to remember. Obviously, there's synonyms in Greek as well as in English. Here's protos. Protos is first or earlier, so like a prototype. Protos, prote, proton. And then tritos. Tritos, trite, triton, third. Obviously, when Jesus raises on the third day, so we get a lot of third, protos and tritos. All right, you're doing a good job. We have memorized, after this, over half of the words that occur in the New Testament. And so, good job. Keep it up. And this was the vocab for chapters 8 and 9, and we're moving right along. All right.